The NHL's opening night of the season was absolutely nuts. 3 different games, Preds versus Bolts, Blackhawks versus Penguins, and Kraken versus Knights. We had so many great matchups. But we're going to be breaking it all down right here. If you're new to the Grab Game, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more recaps just like this, and let's get straight into it. Now, the NHL season started off in a very weird way with a big matchup between Nashville and Tampa Bay. Yeah, definitely the rivalry we all wanted to see. Still, to give them credit, it was a pretty underrated game. Tampa Bay early on in the first 10 minutes was already starting to cream Nashville, just putting a ton of shots on net. Saros, thankfully, was coming up big. And it didn't take long for Tampa to actually get one past him. Kucherov, an absolute explosion on the right side, and it's 1-0 Tampa. And the Lightning almost came close to scoring again. Tanner Jeannot coming off the right side, just off the crossbar, almost 2-0 there. And just look at this, man. The period is about to end, and already the shots are 13-2 for Tampa. And those shots were a great indication of this period. Nashville looked slow, they looked clunky, they looked discombobulated. Tampa looked like they had been rested and ready to go from day one. And early on in the first, throughout that entire first, it was all Tampa Bay, man. And credit to my boy UC Saros in the second. He was not done making amazing stops. And you can see 5 minutes into the second period, the shots were now 17-2. But as the broadcast mentioned, this shift here was actually pretty important for Nashville. They get it in, kind of stretch it back, just put some shots on Johansson, and that finally started to give them just that slight bit of momentum. Actually showed that they could actually get shots on net. And Nashville starts to get a power play here, starts to get some momentum. They put some shots on goal, and again, that momentum continues. Even though they don't score on it, these power plays would actually be vitally important to Nashville's second period. Even though they wouldn't score on the power plays, they're starting to get a lot of shots on net, and here comes a 2-on-1 Forsberg with Ryan O'Reilly, and perfect tip for his first goal as a Pred. I mean, seriously, dude, call this move by Forsberg pickle relish on a hot dog, because that is nasty. So we would head into the third period with a 1-1 score, but the Preds weren't done yet. You can see this play starting off by Ryan O'Reilly, picking it off, getting it going, and a great feed to Juuso Parssinen, who puts it through Johansson. I mean, that whole play by Ryan O'Reilly was just perfect, especially in Tampa with how good he was versus the Bolts in the first round last year, continuing where he left off. But this is where this game really just started to get off the rails. You can see Tyson Barrie coming in, Jeannot drawing the call, and the Bolts will go on the power play. And that Bolts power play rarely makes mistakes. Big party in front of the net, and Nick Paul is able to be the hero. But that would not be the last of the drama. Going in, Hagel on a breakaway, Schenn takes him down, and the drama, we will have a penalty shot on NHL opening day. I mean, look at Luke Schenn's face, man. He knows he screwed up bad here. Lo and behold, Brandon Hagel would come in, sweeping the rug just past UC Saros to make it 3-2. I mean, this angle is sick. Just a sweeping shot, perfect execution. But Nikita Kucherov is going to the box, and now the Preds will be on the power play. Preds are really starting to get going. Tommy Novak coming off the wing, and what a snipe, man. This is my favorite angle of the shot, just coming through sticks and lanes. Novak doesn't care. But tied 3-3, we get another penalty. I feel like a broken record right now. Tampa on the man advantage. And just watch Lauzon here. This is a young player that isn't all that great, making a horrible mistake in this game, just coming right through, barreling, and not really having any purpose. And it will bite Nashville again as Sergachev goes for the shot. Nick Paul the rebound, and it is now 4-3 Tampa Bay. Make that 2 power play goals for Nick Paul in his first game, replacing Alex Killorn on the power play. Not too shabby. I just feel so bad for UC Saros, man. He did not deserve this. And then lo and behold, on the empty net, Kucherov comes in and seals it for Tampa Bay. A game that was absolutely wild and did not have any right being as wild as it was in that second half compared to how boring that first half was. But I think for both teams, there's a lot to look forward to after this game. For the Preds, don't put the Lightning on the power play. That was really the big thing. 5-on-5, it looks like the Preds were getting better every single period, and that was great to see out of them, and that is a good thing to look forward to in the next stretch for Nashville. As for Tampa Bay, the start was great, and it looks like they're a lot more rested than they were last year. And at the start, especially with Vasilevsky gone, that is key. Then we go into the next game of the night, and folks, he has arrived. Connor Bedard is in for his first NHL game, and what a debut it was. Already Connor Bedard trying to strut that shot early, Tristan Jarry making the save on the power play. But the Penguins were starting to get rolling 5-on-5, and it looked like they were going to break through eventually, and they certainly did. Chris Letang, sharp angle, deflected by Rust, and everybody thought that it was in, and and eventually the replay would show, yes, it was. I mean, this angle is insane. Look at that tip by Rust, man. That is world class. But dude, early on, Peter Mrazek was great. This was one of his best saves of the night. You also have Peter Mrazek stopping Sidney Crosby on a breakaway, because of course. And the Penguins kept dealing around him, man. Erik Karlsson, great moves coming right in, but Peter Mrazek, that glove was sensational all throughout the game. And one of the first opportunities we get to see the speed of Connor Bedard in the NHL, he doesn't disappoint. And something that was pointed out on the broadcast that we've known with Connor Bedard for a while now is just how unique that release is, how quick he gets it off in between, below the stick, already off and on jar. We go into the second period and Peter Mrazek is still deciding to be a god. Now in these videos, I like to point out some of the little small details, and especially in Connor Bedard's debut, there was a lot of them. This one was one of my favorites though. In the second period, 1-0 Pittsburgh, Chicago is on the defense. They are stuck in their own zone, trying to get out. You got Chris Letang here with the puck on the blue line, Connor Bedard looking to defend. Bedard comes in, the anticipation perfect as he gets the stick on it and is able to get out of the zone perfectly and into the Pittsburgh zone to start the attack too. That's one of the best parts of Connor Bedard's game, is the anticipation and the position in his play, and I feel like defensively there's a lot of potential for him to become a good takeaway player. We saw it right there. But the Penguins will start to provide even more offense here with Connor Bedard on the ice. Crosby, great give and go with Jake Guentzel, and Chicago is just frozen. I'm sure Connor wasn't too happy on this play. Now we go on to one of the most impressive shifts of Connor Bedard's whole game, and this one was really eye-opening for a lot of people. You can see him coming off the rush here, starts to get some speed. He goes around Karlsson perfectly here. And then the pass was brilliant too, getting it right between Sidney Crosby's legs, right to Seth Jones for the shot. I mean, seriously though, look at that pass. Perfection, man. And only about 30 seconds after this, Bedard would not have to wait at all to get his first point in the NHL. You can see Bedard going off the wall, gives it right to Vlasic. Vlasic puts it on Donato right there for the rebound, and it's 2-1 Chicago. Nothing too flashy about this first NHL point, but it got the job done. And the Blackhawks would actually look pretty great after this. Cole Gutman, who has played 14 games in his career before this, would end up getting his 7th point of his career. A good play by Seth Jones in front, and then Gutman is able to put it through. I also just wanted to shout out my boy Lukas Reichel, who was doing some great things in this game too, as another young player got that great opportunity. He's going to be really special for the Hawks too. But 2-2, Peter Mrazek continuing to be a god. I mean, Guentzel just robbed again. The Penguins defense continues to collapse though. The Blackhawks keep on coming. Some veterans here for the Blackhawks, I guess now in Jason Dickinson, and it is now 3-2 Chicago. And the veterans for the Blackhawks continue to come through in the big moments in the third. Nick Foligno misses the shot, but then it gets passed right to him for the empty net goal, and Chicago takes the first game of the season. Who would have thought? Not me. Certainly not me, that's for sure. But for the Penguins, it seems like there was a lot of rust, no pun intended for them in general, but also just, I feel like all the new acquisitions they made, especially on the defense, will take some time to get used to for that entire team. Of course, especially defensively, there were times where I think Pittsburgh, honestly, was pretty lackluster, and Tristan Jarry not making the saves he needed to also did not help. For Pittsburgh, there's a lot of new faces, though, so we'll give them some time. Though, for Chicago, they had a lot of new faces. It worked out pretty well for them. Then we go into the final game of the night in Vegas versus Seattle, and it was honestly pretty wild as well. A lot happened here, and in the first goal of the game, Vegas just perfect passing again. Stevenson starting the scoring off for the Knights 2024 season. A player that is always such a consistent scorer, man, has been over the last couple years for Vegas, continues to get underrated, and it's not a surprise he starts things off. And then you have this next goal for Vegas, which is just absolutely hilarious, because you don't really see it as perfectly in real time, but if we slow it down, Karlsson puts it in front of the net, and here comes Brandon Tanev with the puck. He has it in front of his net. What does he do? He tries to shank it off the boards, and Marchessault comes in with the tip to make it 2-0 Vegas. I mean, contract year, Jonathan Marchessault is going to be a scary thought. He's going to have a big year. That'll probably be one of the luckier goals he has, though, this season. I would be willing to bet. The look of despair, though, in Brandon Tanev, man, that's just sad. But here we go on to maybe one of my favorite goals of the game. Brayden McNabb here in his own zone makes an absolutely stellar stretch pass to Ivan Barbashev, who Vegas would decide to re-sign, and he blasts it past Grubauer for the 3-0 goal. What a shot, too, man. That was sick. Now, this game just had some very weird goals, and for the Kraken's first goal of the game, that would be no exception. The Kraken were working here in the corner, and as you can see, the puck gets thrown in front off of the leg and right to Jared McCann. I mean, Jared McCann has had so many goals like that where he's right place, right time, and he continues that streak. Now, it is pretty funny because the hockey gods did give Marchessault such a lucky bounce earlier, and they just decided to take it right back that goes off his skate right to McCann, and Marchessault has the best of both worlds. But as it was still 3-3, middle way through the third period, a big point happened here with Brett Howden coming in right on Brandon Tanev, big head collision, and that would be a 5-minute major. Now, Vegas has experience with 5-minute majors, sometimes hasn't gone all too well for them, and this was a pivotal moment in this game. They were only down 2 goals, Seattle, and they had the opportunity to come back here. But through Love's power play, Seattle wasn't really able to get too much going, at least not too much quality. This was one of the best chances here coming off the stick of Kailer Yamamoto, but not able to make anything happen with it. And after a great kill by the Knights, empty net for Seattle, Vegas is able to keep it going. Great defense in Jack Eichel for the empty net goal. But man, so far the NHL season looking like an absolute roller coaster ride. I mean, every single one of these games had close moments, big nail-biting moments, and I am here for it. We, of course, have a lot more games to go through, but let me know if you guys did enjoy this game breakdown, this game recap. If you did, make sure you hit that like button so this video can have more success, so get out there so we can make more of these. Of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're coming in here for the first time and joining the Grad Gang. You'll not want to miss any hockey videos as we go through this season, through this amazing hockey season. You'll want to stick with us. Of course, make sure you comment down below, what are your thoughts on all the games we saw today? Do you have any opinion changes on how Chicago, Pittsburgh, Nashville, Tampa, Vegas, Seattle are going to do this year? Let us know down below. And of course, make sure you share the video with all the hockey fans you guys know online. Get the recap out to them and click on this card for all I'm a hockey trading content right in one playlist. My name is Nathan, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.